2022 investing predictions. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's look at this article from Yahoo Finance with 2022 predictions. So 5 investing forecasts for the year ahead, written by Eliza Bevan. So, in yet another year plagued by coronavirus lockdowns, border closures, it's no wonder global markets saw some volatility in 2021. But with the outlook hopefully looking more positive next year, what sectors in the market are set to get a boost? Yahoo Finance asked the experts what areas of the stock market they'll be watching carefully next year. Okay, commodities such as iron ore, copper, coal, etc., the reopening of the borders and China seem to be recurring things to keep an eye on, and here's what they have to say. So Mathan Somasundarama, CEO of Deep Data Analytics, we're going to see a bigger rotation out of growth to value, but certain growth thematics are too early in the cycle and will remain in play. It's going to be very tricky in 2022. We are coming in at historically high multiples and moving into a deleveraging cycle. Stock and sector selection is going to be key, and you need to be nimble as macro volatility is likely to remain elevated. China will be key to sector selection in 22, much more than the US. So Kyle Roeder, market analyst at IG Markets. For me, it's going to be the miners. They'll make or break the market. I think that because it's been a drop in the big miners that's weighed on the overall market and driven an underperformance versus international equities. That all hinges on what Chinese policymakers do to stimulate their economies. The reopening trade will also be interesting. The travel stocks, airlines, etc. could remain volatile as the pandemic persists. Gaurav Sodhi, Deputy Head of Research at InvestSmart. Retailers and travel stocks will be interesting. There are 2 big things for me. One is that interest rates are rising for the first time in 12 years. At the same time, we have historically stretched valuations in tech and software. I don't think those 2 facts will sit well together next year. Tech stocks and those with big valuations will be under pressure. The second thing to watch is how consumers who are cashed up, savings rate has been relatively high, will spend that money. Shane Oliver, Chief Economist at AMP. The big one will be stocks that benefit from reopening. Right now, we're in the midst of another coronavirus wave, like we always seem to be. But it seems that each progressive wave is getting less threatening to the global economy. The lockdowns in New South Wales and Victoria recently had less negative impact on the economy than lockdowns earlier last year. And likewise, the number of people who get seriously ill and have to go to hospital is getting less and less because of medical advancements in treating COVID. So while there is a lot of uncertainty around now with Omicron, the basic picture is that we're progressing towards getting things under control. That is a positive sign and suggests that the broad trend, even though it's 2 steps forwards and 1 step back, will be towards reopening, which ultimately is good for travel stocks and good for cyclicals like industrials. It will also be good for material companies as well. BHP and Rio will probably do reasonably well again next year. So Greg Rubin, Head of Trading at Global Prime. It's shaping up to be a very volatile year for cryptos. Well, I mean, isn't it always a very volatile year for crypto? My expectation is the bull run that started in 2020 to come to an end next year. I still believe it is likely to see one more big push higher from the bear market before the bear market sets in, and therefore we could witness a very large range for prices next year. With the recent weakness in Bitcoin, there have been quite a few who have already written it off, calling the highs struck in the US 69K region as the top of the cycle. As long as we can hold above the 13,880 level, we could see one more push higher to complete the move. Bitcoin almost always ends its bull run with a blow-off top, which makes predicting exact levels very difficult. Well, guys, there we have it. Investing predictions for 2022. What do you think? Let's have a bit of a talk about this one. I mean, here it is. It's all fun and games where people will make these predictions, and the problem is there's so many unknowns that could throw everything out the window. I mean, who would have predicted coronavirus, everyone? Who would have predicted all of the impacts in international trade? Who would have predicted the Suez Canal blockage? All these things can happen and can throw out your predictions. So if you're investing, you need to have a strategy that isn't going to be affected too much by the news. If you have two pools of money, if you have a pool of money that you're going to be trading the news, set that aside. But if you also have a long term where you're looking at, say, dividend investing and building up a series of companies that are just going to outlast any of these disruptions in the world, stick to those. Don't let the FOMO, changes to the market, prices crashing down, affect you. It's going to be hard. I remember when it was all crashing down, you're thinking, everyone has to sell, it's going crazy. But don't do it. Wait it out and see. If you're investing in good, decent companies, people will see the value. See that as an opportunity to dollar cost average in. See where it goes. What do you reckon, guys? What's your, let us know in the comments what your top pick for next year is, everyone. But check out this video about investing for the Great Reset. 5 companies that I invested in so that when we don't own anything and rent everything, there's an opportunity there to make some money. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.